Students, today we are going to learn the third chapter of our civics book, that is rural local government bodies. So in this lesson we are going first we are going to learn what is being called as local government, rural local government. Okay, the local government is an institution which looks after the local problems and provides basic amenities to the people. Since all the majority of people live in village, we have to make sure that they participate with the people in the local level. The civic amenities like water supply, electricity, transport, education, sanitation, healthcare, etc., are essential for the good life in the rural as well as the urban areas. An individual cannot afford these facilities by themselves. So, the government provides and manages these amenities. India is such a big country, it is impossible for central and state government to solve all the problems. So that for this purpose, it's served by local self-government. It makes administration easier, economic and more democratic. Mahatma Gandhi believed that all-round development of village community would be achieved when the village govern themselves. The advantages are: first, they are more familiar to their problems, so they can solve their problems better. Means whatever the problems they suffer, whatever if their people are there together, so they are very known by that problem, so the solution whatever they are going to make, it is more familiar and which will help the people. So the first advantage is this, and the second is, since there is their own benefits, the village community participate more actively, uh, develop developing measures. Means what, if that this gives them a benefit that the community participates actively and develop their communication skills between them, and this also helps them. It trains people in local level to be more self-reliant. DS, it reduces the work of central and state government. The advantages are: first one, they are more familiar to their problems, so they can solve better solution, or they can uh, get better solution for that. And second is, since there is their own benefit, the village community participate more actively and developing measures. Third is, it trains people in local level to be more self-reliant. Fourth is, it reduces the works of central and state government. So, as in this chapter, we are going to learn the 3 points, that is the Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Zilla Parishad. So, as we have learned now what has been called as local government, what are the advantages of the local self-government. So, let us learn further. So you can see here, the local government bodies are broadly classified into rural and local governments. Means what? This local government is being divided into two, that is rural and urban. Okay, and in this chapter we are going to learn about the rural local government bodies. The Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Zilla Parishad are the rural local government bodies, and this three collectively is being called as Panchayati Raj institution. So here, what all are that three is the Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Zilla Parishad. This three is being collectively is being called as Panchayati Raj institution. You can see here a diagram is being given. As you know, in your portion, do you know is been cancelled. So then also we will see what it is. Here one diagram is given that the urban government is there in the up, and state and local government. So let us see what is this. Okay, the administration in our country is carried out on These three levels. The first is union government, second is state government, and the third is local government. Okay, the administration of the entire country, it is being carried out by the union government, subjects such as defense, foreign affairs, currency, etc. So whole country, it is the subjects such as the defense, foreign affairs, and currency, it is this all subjects has been concerned of the whole country by the union government. Let us see the second level, that is the state government of Maharashtra makes laws related to law and order, health, education. So here the second level of our this administration looks after the law and order, whatever the laws are there, the people are following the laws or not, this all things are being concerned by the state government. And the health, education, this all comes under the state government. And let us see the main which we are going to learn in this chapter, that is the local government body. The local government body works in the third level. Let us see this. You can see here the diagram is being given. The local government body, as I have told, it has been divided into two, that is rural and urban. So here in the rural, these three wheels are there, as well as in the urban there are three wheels. Okay, and rural, let us see what are that three. Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, and Zilla Parishad. These are the three, and these three are called as Panchayati Raj institutions. Okay, which we have seen before, right? Let us see what comes in urban. That is Nagar Panchayat, Municipal Council, and Municipal Corporation. This you have to keep in your mind. Let us see further. The next what we are going to learn is the Gram Panchayat, which comes in the rural local bodies. The first we are going to see that. Okay, let us see what is being called as what is the Gram Panchayat. The Gram Panchayat looks after the administration of a village. If the population of village is less than 500, two or more such village come under a Gram Panchayat. It is known as a group Gram Panchayat. Means the Gram Panchayat looks after the administration of whole village. The village system is the administration of village has been concerned with Gram Panchayat. If the village population is 500, so they make 2 or 3 groups like that. The Gram Panchayat carries out the function related to the water supply, electricity, registration of birth and death, and marriages. So the Gram Panchayat is functions related to what all things is the water supply, electricity, registration of birth and death, and marriages. So this all are the functions of Gram Panchayat. Let us see the three main offices or office bearers of Gram Panchayat. That is Sarpanch. The first one is Sarpanch, and the second Gram Sevak, third is Gram Sabha. Let us see what is Sarpanch. As you all know that the head of Gram Panchayat is what we call as Sarpanch. The Sarpanch looks after each and everything of the Gram Panchayat, right? So let us see what is being given here. The election of Gram Panchayat are held every 5 years. Means the election of Gram Panchayat is been held in every 5 years, and the elected members select a Sarpanch and a deputy Sarpanch from among themselves. So the people elect the Sarpanch as well as the deputy Sarpanch among themselves only. The meeting of Gram Panchayat are held under the chairmanship of Sarpanch. Whatever the meetings are being held of Gram Panchayat with the help of Sarpanch only. Okay, it is a responsibility to implement the development scheme of the village. The member of Gram Panchayat can bring a motion of no confidence against the Sarpanch who is carrying out the responsibilities properly. Means whatever the meetings are being held, it is related to the development schemes of a village. Okay, and if the Sarpanch is not doing his work properly, so the people can complain against them and they can select the other Sarpanch of it. Okay. In the absence of Sarpanch, the deputy Sarpanch looks after the work of Gram Panchayat. If the Sarpanch is not there, the meetings and all or the work of Sarpanch is being done by the deputy Sarpanch. So here in the Sarpanch we have learnt about in each and 5 year the election is being held and the people select the Sarpanch as well as the deputy Sarpanch. The Sarpanch looks after all the development schemes and the meetings are held. It is being concerned of the development schemes of a village, as well as if the Sarpanch is not doing his work properly, the people can select another Sarpanch or and if there is an absence of Sarpanch, they can select the deputy Sarpanch. The meetings whatever they held, it can be held by deputy Sarpanch. Now let us see the second tier, that is Gram Sevak. He is the secretary of the Gram Panchayat. He is appointed by the chief executive officer of Zilla Parishad. This main function is to look after the day-to-day functioning of Gram Panchayat, to explain the development schemes to the residents of the village, etc. So here the Gram Sevak is who? He is the secretary of the Gram Panchayat and he is appointed by the chief executive officer of Zilla Parishad. And what is his function is to look after the day-to-day functioning of a Gram Panchayat and to explain each and every development schemes to the residents. Residents means for the people of the village. Whatever the development scheme is being developed from in the Gram Panchayat, to explain that to the people. It is the main function of the Gram Sevak. And let us see the third tier, it is Gram Sabha. The assembly of all the voters of the village or rural area is the Gram Sabha. It is an assembly of the voters of a village of rural area. It is what we call as Gram Sabha. It is the most important organization of a people at the local level. It is abiding to hold at least 6 meetings of a Gram Sabha each financial year. Means it is an assembly of the voters. As you all know what voters means what. So it is the assembly of the voters of a village or a rural area. It is what we call as Gram Panchayat. Okay, and this Gram Panchayat holds meeting in each financial year. They conduct 6 meetings of Gram Sabha. The responsibility of meeting of Gram Sabha is with Sarpanch. In the first meeting of each financial year, the Gram Sabha discusses the annual report and accounts submitted to Gram Panchayat. So here the responsibility of calling meeting is of whatever the meeting is going to be held of Gram Sabha. It is the responsibility of Sarpanch to call each of them, as well as the first meeting of each financial year. The Gram Sabha discusses all the annual reports, accounts submitted by the Gram Panchayat. The suggestion of Gram Sabha are conveyed to the Gram Panchayat. Whatever the suggestions they have to be put, they have been discussing about in the Gram Panchayat. The Gram Sabha gives a sanction of the development schemes proposed by Gram Panchayat. Whatever the development scheme is being proposed, that been given by the Gram Sabha. Okay, the information and all. The Gram Sabha has an authority to decide upon which individual deserves the benefit of government scheme. And the whatever the beneficiary schemes or the development schemes are being given by the government for Gram Panchayat, the responsibility of deciding to whom this beneficiary scheme is going to go, it is the responsibility of Gram Sabha. Now we have seen the 3 tiers or the 3 officers or the office bearers of the Gram Panchayat. Let us move further. The women participate in the Gram Sabha. The next topic is the women also participates in the Gram Sabha. A meeting of women of a village is held before the meeting of Gram Sabha. Means the meetings of villages women is being held before the meeting of the Gram Sabha. Here women feel free to discuss variety of issues during the Gram Sabha. They speak with greater concern about issues such as drinking water, prohibition, employment, fuel, health, etc. They also suggest measures for bringing some necessary changes. So here, the first meeting of the Gram Sabha is being held of women, and then the meeting of Gram Sabha is being held, and the women feels very free to express their problems, such as whatever they feel the problems are there, that has been taken into consideration, such as like drinking water, prohibition, employment, fuel health, etc. And it also helps them to suggest measures for bringing the necessary changes. Now let us see the sources of revenue of Gram Panchayat. The Gram Panchayat carries out many schemes and programs for welfare of village. For this purpose, it requires money. Means whatever the schemes and programs are being given by the welfare for the welfare of the village by Gram Panchayat, it requires money, right? So this money, how this money is going to come? Right, that we are going to see now. The Gram Panchayat raises this funds through different taxes. So, for proper regulation or the welfare of the village, some taxes is being collected from us from different funds, such as let us see in this diagram the sources of revenue of Gram Panchayat. The house tax we give to government. So such kind of being collected, like house tax, water tax, tax of weekly market, pilgrimage tax, grants for Jilla Parishad and state government. So from this they get money to proper regulation of the Gram Panchayat. Let us see the next as Panchayat Samiti. The second wheel of rural local government. Let us see the Panchayat Samiti or the villages within a taluka form a development block. The body that looks after the functioning of development block is the Panchayat Samiti. So at the taluka level, different blocks are being made, and the body that looks after the functioning of the development block is what we call as Panchayat Samiti. It also acts as a link between the Jilla Parishad and Panchayat Samiti. The office barriers of the Panchayat Samiti is the election of Panchayat Samiti is also being held in every 5 years. The elected members select among themselves the chairman and the deputy chairman of the Panchayat Samiti. In that previous what we have learned is the Gram Panchayat. So they select what? Sarpanch and deputy sarpanch. But here they select chairman and deputy chairman in the Panchayat Samiti. The chairman has a responsibility of calling the meeting and conducting the business of meeting. In the absence of chairman, the deputy chairman presides over the meeting. So, what we have learnt in the previous Gram Panchayat that if the Sarpanch is not present, the deputy Sarpanch holds the meeting, right? Like that only here. In the Panchayat Samiti, if chairman is not there, the deputy chairman conducts the meeting. As well as the here also the responsibility is of chairman to conduct the meeting and to call the people for the meeting. Okay, let us see the functions of Panchayat Samiti. So here you can see the diagram here, right? The functions of the Panchayat Samiti. That is the roads, gutters, wells, bore wells, vaccination. So what are the functions? Needs of the people, health, water supply, public hygiene, agriculture, education, industries, people's welfare. So these all are the function of the Panchayat Samiti. You can see in this diagram, right? Let us see further. The Panchayat Samiti prepares a plan or a scheme to be implemented to the development block. So here the Panchayat Samiti plans some schemes and that it is being implemented by the development block. It is binding of Panchayat Samiti to hold at least one meeting every month. So here the Panchayat Samiti, it is very important to hold one meeting in every month. Okay. The Panchayat Samiti receives a certain amount of money from the district funds. It also receives grants from the state government to carry out the development schemes and the development block of a development block. So here the Panchayat Samiti receives some money from the district funds as well as it receives some grants from the state government to carry out the development schemes. Okay, now let us see the third tier, that is Zilla Parishad. Every district has Zilla Parishad. At present, the state of Maharashtra has 36 districts but only 34 Zilla Parishads. The reason is that the Mumbai city district and Mumbai suburban district do not have a rural population. Therefore, they do not have the Zilla Parishad. As Zilla Parishad is what? In each district, one Zilla Parishad is there. But at present, in Maharashtra, there are 36 districts, but they are having only 34 Zilla Parishad. Why? Because Mumbai city district as well as the Mumbai suburban district, they are not having rural population. So, we are having only 34 Zilla Parishad. Now, let us see the office bearers of the Zilla Parishad. The elections to the Zilla Parishad is also being held in every 5 years. The elected representatives choose a president and vice president from among themselves. As in the Gram Panchayat, there are Sarpanch and Deputy Sarpanch. In Gram Panchayat Samiti, they are chairman and deputy chairman, and here in the Zilla Parishad, they select president and vice president among themselves. Okay, the president of the Zilla Parishad presides over the meeting of Zilla Parishad. Here also the president is responsible for the conducting of meetings. He exercises control over the business conducted during the meeting. He also controls the financial transactions of the Zilla Parishad. So, meeting is being conducted by the president, and he also controls the financial transaction, whatever the money is being required for what, and all it is being responsible by the president. He has the authority to undertake appropriate expenditures for the Zilla Parishad fund. Whatever the funds comes to the from the Zilla Parishad, to carry out that money also, it is the responsibility of president. If the vice president is absent, so vice president looks after the duties of the president. As you all know that, do you know is been cancelled, so we are not going to see that. Let us see the chief executive officer. The decisions taken by the Zilla Parishad are implemented by the chief executive officer of Zilla Parishad. Whatever the decision is being taken by the Zilla Parishad, it has been implemented by the chief executive officer. He is appointed by and the chief executive officer is being appointed by whom? The state government. Now see the functions of Zilla Parishad. What are the functions? You can see in the picture as the educational facilities, health facilities, and water supply, provision of seeds, electricity, tree plantation in the village. So these all are the functions of the Zilla Parishad. Now you can see here what would you do? Do you know? So it is not there in your syllabus now. So let us see the diagram which is given in the green part. See, President, Zilla Parishad and Chief Executive Officer. Chairman, so here they have made a diagram so that we can memorize it very easily, right? So you can see here in the Zilla Parishad, that is President and Chief Executive Officer. In Panchayat Samiti, that is Chairman, Block Development Officer. Here in the Gram Panchayat, that is Sarpanch and Gram Sevak. Gram Sevak has been appointed by the government and Sarpanch has been elected by the elected representatives, means the people of the village. Now let us see the last diagram which has been given here of the whole chapter. You can see here local government bodies, rural. So here there are three. What are they? Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, Zilla Parishad. So the total numbers of these three are, in Gram Panchayat minimum 7 members are there, maximum 17. And here in the Gram Panchayat Samiti, there is minimum 15 and maximum 45 members. And here in the Zilla Parishad, there is minimum 50 and maximum 75. So here the office barriers are, here in the Gram Panchayat they are having Sarpanch, Deputy Sarpanch. Here in the Panchayat Samiti they are having Chairman, Deputy Chairman. And Zilla Parishad they are having President, Vice President. As well as the officers are there in this three is Gram Panchayat they are having Gram Sevak. Panchayat Samiti they are having Block